So right now you have about $26,000 that's like due now. I mean, creditors are calling, hounding you. Let's talk about how that breaks down. So the $8,000 in credit cards, that's 5 cards, $700,000 in a house, and $5,000 in a car. What's the biggest change?
When we had to take our kids out of preschool.
So do you think you were living beyond your means?
I think we just didn't plan. We were living the income that we were making. And then all of a sudden that income changed drastically.
There's just different expenses that I disagree on, you know. Starbucks is one.
I go to Starbucks to work because I can't work in this house. And I feel like I have to buy at least 1 cup of coffee while I'm there.
I get that. They have a 99-cent coffee, not a $3.84 coffee. So I see that and I'm like, that's 2 meals.
Did you have money put away?
No.
Do you guys feel like you have any plan?
No.
Okay, Laurel, thanks for going down and visiting with these guys. So what'd you find? What's your assessment of this story?
When income changes from 240, last year was at 70, and this year we're at 15. When income patterns change that drastically, there's ways to intervene earlier, which could have given us a lot more solutions than we have today.
Yeah,
I mean, we're really at the kind of end of the rope.
What do you see needing to happen in the next 90 days? What's that plan?
I think that for sure, we need 2 incomes again. Brandy's proven in the past she knows how to make money. She's patterned that she can make money. I think also the blaming, as you mentioned, is critical. We've got to have you both own your balance sheet. You both need to have the plan for the income and the balance sheet.
You've got to be willing to say, we are in this together. Money is a partnership decision. And so you've got to stop fighting, get a plan you can both be excited about. And we're going to talk about how to do that. But you and I are going to disagree on this next point because you say that they need to get into a tiered mortgage plan, which you know more about than all of us, but say what you mean and then I'll tell you why I think that's wrong.
The tiered mortgage is it's one choice where you can reduce your mortgage to more of a place where you could afford it and then gradually go back up.
Let me ask you how you feel about this, Greg, because one of the things that, you know, I said I've been very poor in my life and I have. But I've never owed anybody anything. Now, I paid $165 for my first car, and I think I got gypped. But, I mean, it had no reverse, but it did have a motor. I mean, you had to park on a hill to get away, but I didn't have any car payment. And I can't tell you the freedom that I've felt in my life because I never owed anybody anything. You're arguing over $40, and you've got children with no birthday presents, and we're going to try to service a $700,000 debt? That just seems insane to me. I think that house should have been dumped 4 years ago. I think it should have been dumped 4 years ago. To me, the idea of trying to service a $750,000 debt on a house you don't have to have. It just seems there would be such a sense of freedom to be out from under that.
They either have to make some new money as a choice, and if they don't do it in a few weeks, I mean months, and you both could do it, then I do think they need to dump the house.
Oh, we got to make new money. No question about that. We'll talk about that in a minute.
And we've got to fix it.
I think we're open to either or. I mean, we've looked into short sale, we looked into a 2-bedroom apartment, putting all our kids in one room, we're in room, splitting dividers. I mean, I've looked at both apartments around so the kids can stay in the school district.
But you know, if you went to bed at night without $1 million hanging over your head, and you could pull those covers up around your neck and say, you know what? We ain't got a lot of square footage, but we're paying for it, and our head's above water. Just emotionally, I mean, doesn't that make a huge difference? I said I was going to be counting down the 5 biggest mistakes people make right now with money. Now, Greg and Brandy are a perfect example of number 5, which is living beyond your means. Look, it's math, it's not magic. It doesn't matter what you think you deserve. It doesn't matter what you think you need. It doesn't matter what you think you have to fit in. If you don't have the money, then you don't need to be incurring the responsibilities, the debt, the obligation. Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.